What's up, everybody? We are back with the Magic and Andrew MMA betting podcast. We have a special guest today. We've got Gugabe here with us. Thanks for joining us, my friend.
Thanks for having me. Fresh from Australian prison. It's good to be, break out was good work. And yeah, I think Magic's going to shoot me if I don't do this. So good times.
Hell yeah, bro. Well, we're going to break down the Rob Font versus Jose Aldo card today. We'll start from the bottom and work our way up. I'm going to go best fight odds order for those following along. First off, we've got Vince Morales versus Luis Smolka. Gugabe, you want to start us off?
I kind of think Smolka should be pretty minute dominant. Like, he's reliable to come forward. Morales KO is kind of a big price too. Like, watch the Kenny fight where like Smolka just kind of put it on him. Obviously, it ended up being a submission, but like that was a club sub. Like, you watch Smolka's legs before he goes for the last takedown. He's clearly pretty badly hurt. So yeah, I think Smolka probably just kind of zombies at him until eventually Morales will be able to land big shots. And like just the volume, the output issue might just mean that Smolka decisions probably get. I think Smolka probably wins the decision if it goes 15, but Morales will be very live to hurt him bad. So it's like plus 600 or something, isn't it? So,
I'll check.
I think something like that.
Smolka decision is plus 225.
No, Morales KO.
Morales by knockout. Yeah, plus 450, plus 550, depending on the site.
Well, no.
Not bad.
What do you think, Magic?
I think Smolka is going to finish, and I don't really get the line. Like, his money line is like minus 150. Why is inside the distance plus 220? He has finished almost all his wins, and he's reliable to go forward, spam a lot of volume, good body work, and on the ground, the edge here is gross. I don't know if he's going to get it to the ground easily or not, but the pace and the volume and everything favors Smolka. That's a good comment. And yeah, I like Smolka to finish. I don't see Morales winning outside of landing a big shot, which could happen because Smolka fights like a drunk. He has no defense, and Morales has a big punch. But yeah, I don't really rate Morales.
Yeah, it's pretty much my view. Just like Smolka should be minute dominant. If he gets top time, there's a chance he finishes, but Morales will probably knock him down badly at least once, just because Smolka is so hittable.
Yeah, I'm like trusting Smolka to do a stupid shit, like make shit happen. Pull guard, single leg into pulling guards, shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with what a lot of what you guys said. Pretty similar. I don't have any plays on it. I kind of Smolka a little bit, but I didn't have as great of a read on this fight. And I just read that Jeff Neal was jailed on a DWI and weapon charges. So I guess he's not going to be fighting next weekend.
Jeff Neal?
Yeah.
Can't stop still? Like he looks like a good guy. He's a waiter or something, right?
Yeah, Jeff Neal jailed on DWI weapon charges 16 days before a fight. Anyway, next up we've got Alex Morono versus Mickey Gall. I could start us off here. I kind of think that Gall's the side. I wish I knew he would wrestle, but I have a feeling he's not going to. From what I understand, his game plan is to hold the center of the cage, work the body, press Morono up against the fence and work on some clinch elbows. He's not a great technical striker, but he hits hard. He's good jiu-jitsu game. I don't know that he really has the wrestling chops to always complement it. But I don't know, something about Morono, like he just kind of finds a way. He's good volume. He's athletically limited, so to speak. But I kind of think at this price, it's either dog or pass. Gugabe, what do you think?
Yeah, about the same. Gall takedowns could be rounds. If he comes out like committed to wrestling, he could actually look like a hindsight favorite. The question is A, his cardio, and B, how urgent he's going to be. Yeah, I think the price is kind of stupid. Like, the grappling hole is big enough. I just can't really get to a Morono minus 225, whatever he is at the moment. It's just like, it is part. You can see how Gall would win this like more than 50% of the time if he's not an idiot. And there's a good chance he's an idiot. But even standing, I don't think Morono has completely comprehensively covered. I don't know.
Cool. Magic, what do you got?
Yeah, I think I'm surprised to see fight doesn't go the distance at plus money. Like, why is it plus money? Gall early, Gall, it's Gall, right? Gall early, or Morono is going to fucking eat the kid. Like, he cannot compete with the cardio and the volume. If this goes past 10 minutes, Gall is going to have a heart attack or something. His cardio is horrible. He was looking very good against the diabetes kid, and he was looking like already gassed 2 minutes in. I don't know what's wrong with the guy. And he was looking like he was punching fucking hard, like out of nowhere. Every punch was hurting. I actually forgot his name. Williams, yeah, Jordan Williams. So yeah, I think it's Gall early or Morono late. I played Morono late small, and fight doesn't go the distance bigger. I don't think it should be plus money.
Cool. All right. Next up, we've got Jared Vanderaa versus Azamat Murzakanov. Magic, I'll stick with you here.
I didn't play anything here. I barely looked into it. It's probably going to be Murzakanov by murder, but I'm not going to play minus 110 or whatever his knockout line is. Maybe Vanderaa can take a beating for 5 minutes and look like the bet of the year money line wise, but I don't think he's going to do it. Pretty shitty fight. I have no interest here. And fight doesn't go the distance. It's probably going to hit, but the line is just that makes no sense to play that line. Yeah, just a big pass. I don't care about this fight.
Gugabe, what do you got?
Murzakanov is awful. He just doesn't do much. Like, he's not a contender. He lost every single minute before, like, just wiping out whatever his name was. Yeah, again, like if we had like more than one fight of Vanderaa looking like he did against Tafa, I would be like fucking maxing here, just because I just feel like that Tafa performance was like really impressive. Like, any heavyweight who can go like 15 hard minutes throwing like 200 strikes is just, I mean, like, yeah, Vanderaa has nothing off his back, but I just don't think that's relevant here. Like, the Romanov and Spivak losses are just like, who cares in this context? And like, if they get like stuck standing, like, there's a massive size difference here. It's like 7 inches of reach, like 8 inches. It's like, Murzakanov would be like, he wouldn't even be a big middleweight, and he's fighting a heavyweight here for no apparent reason. Like, it does seem kind of insane when there's that sort of like size difference. And I think Vanderaa's output should be better. Like, the main concern I have is the short notice and only having one fight of Vanderaa looking like a output kickboxer. Because like if like Vanderaa had like fights of just a half a fight, like just that kind of performance, I'd be like lining like minus 200 here. I don't know. I think he's worth a unit or two all the same, even with the sort of short notice and how good is Vanderaa sort of question marks. But yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you said. I bet Vanderaa here. For if nothing else, there's weight classes for a reason. Like you said, I think there's like a 7-inch reach advantage, and it's not like Vanderaa is a small heavyweight. He weighed in at the limit in his last fight. Murzakanov was training for a 205-pound fight, and I'm not saying that Vanderaa is going to go become world champion or anything like that, but I think against a 205-pounder who's pretty much unproven and was training to fight at 205 for this fight. So that means he was already at a spot in his weight cut where he was probably relatively close to the weight. He's going to be at a big size disadvantage here. And again, to your point, the guys who Jared lost to at heavyweight are the good wrestler. I say the better wrestlers, and also have the eyes to take him down too. I'm not sure that Murzakanov is going to be able to do that here. I think there's value on the line currently. I played plus 184. I was actually surprised that wasn't much closer to a pick 'em. Next fight, we're going to have some differing opinions here. We've got Claudio Puelles taking on Chris Gruetzemacher. Gugabe, you want to go first?
I don't really have much of an opinion. I took some Puelles early, but I was just like, I know the market hates Chris Gruetzemacher just because I hate Chris Gruetzemacher. And he's old. Like, no, I personally don't mind him. I just like the market hates him. Like, I know there's somebody in the world who just bets off an algorithm, and the algorithm says there's a 10-year age gap or something. I'm just max betting the other side, and like, you see the market's moving. It's like how Arlovsky every single time is just massive money against Arlovsky at the back, and it's like,
I fucking hate Arlovsky.
Arlovsky's the best bet. He's the best bet.
It's horrible to watch. I cannot wait until he retires, man. It's horrible. It's like I have watched the same fight 20 fights, last 20 Arlovsky fights.
Good shit. And so it's always value. You get plus 200 and you get a split decision. Like, what more do you want?
Yeah, but don't put him at Comain or some shit.
How dare you? He's next champion. He's had some finishes many fights ago. It's been 19 fights since he fought Travis Brown. Like, that's insane. That was like 4 or 5 years ago. But like Puel's grappling upside maybe, and also just kind of that youth. Like, you can just take a blind punt and hope that Puel's got better. I'm gonna flip my position. Honestly, I'm happy to just take free money. Like, I have no strong opinion here. Gruetzemacher live bet probably a thing too. Like, just wait 3 minutes. Like, I feel like there's enough. Gruetzemacher starts so fucking slow against everybody. It's kind of like, you're probably gonna get better price than if you wait 2 minutes anyway, and it gives you a chance to see if Puel's just got better. Like, he's like 25 or 24 or something like that, which is, guys can improve quite a bit between fights at that age.
I'm doing my best to not miss anything here. I thought people in Australia spoke English, but this is some Aboriginal language.
What do you got? You got Gruetzemacher?
Yeah, I played the Grit. I mean, I was thinking I was not going to play anything in this fight, but after doing the tape, he fought a little bit better than I remembered last couple times. Like, some urgency to get up. Rafa Garcia is obviously more powerful physically than Puelles, and Puelles, yes, he has some upside grappling, especially early, but I mean, he just stays on top. The Marcos Mariano fight gave me cancer. I mean, how the fuck does he not submit Marcos Mariano? He's the worst fighter in UFC history grappling wise.
Yeah.
And he was, I mean, the referee won him the fight with that, like, it was an awkward stand-up or something. He was about to die. Puelles fucking sucks. I think he's a massive fraud. And Gruetzemacher, I mean, everybody knows what the guy is. Come forward brawler, good body work, good cardio. If he doesn't die in the first 5 minutes, he's a tough fight for almost everyone. And the guy has been finished in all his losses, but look who he has lost against. He has been submitted by Chas Kelly, good grappler, and David Ramos is a monster on top. And the only time he has been knocked out, Alexander Hernandez. I mean, generational talent. I'm surprised Gugabe is not wearing his Alexander Hernandez fight kit for the podcast. He's massive Hernandez fan. I know. He tries to play it on the low, but he's massive Hernandez fan. So yeah, Gruetzemacher inside the distance is fine, I think, and late. What was that? Sorry.
No fighter has accomplished as much in the octagon with the lack of skills that Alexander Hernandez has. He's massively overshot. Like, he shouldn't even get out cards.
I hope Dariush wins against Makhachev and then the title, because Hernandez demolished him. That is going to give me so much trash to talk on Twitter.
I think the term is meme knockout, but yeah, still, it happened.
That's going to happen again if they fight. Just watch. Ben is my guy, but somebody's going to death him soon. He has no defense.
Oh, 100%. He's going to die sooner or later.
Yeah.
I'll round this out here. I like Claudio Puelles. Gruetzemacher was getting taken down by Rafa Garcia when he was half dead. Puelles is at least reliable to shoot takedowns. I got in on the early price, plus 120. I think I have him a slight favorite here. Like, yeah, he's not that great, but I think Gruetzemacher, even against Garcia, looked pretty bad. I mean, he pretty much just let Garcia get tired punching his face and then kind of took over with volume. And even after that, he was still getting taken down. I think he got taken down like 5 times in that fight. Yeah, I played Puelles here. It's not the most like confident take in the world, but I think he should definitely be the favorite. Moving on, we've got William Knight versus Alonzo Manifield. Gugabe, let's hear what you got.
I think Manifield is kind of just more functional, not reliable to do much, but like Knight is just kind of a meme. I think it goes distance here. I think there's a good chance that just fuck all happens. Yeah, I just can like Manifield threw like 10 strikes against Paul Craig in a round and like was getting his ass whooped before like just pulling it out of his ass. Yeah, just kind of Manifield doesn't do much. Knight just does not really have many skills, and I think Manifield should be like I think Manifield could be a bigger favorite, but also do you really want to trust Alonzo Manifield? And I don't know. Go distance with my main play here.
I completely agree with that. I like the over 1.5. I think it's like minus 150. I haven't bet it yet, but I'm probably going to. But it's also one of the situations where like I feel like it either ends really quickly or it goes to 15. So I actually think GTD might be the spot.
Every time Manifield fights, there is like a huge debate on Twitter about his over 1.5 or under. Like for some reason, people get a hard on by betting this. I don't understand why. It's a coin flip. He kills the guy or gasses completely.
I think goes the distance is better, just because I feel like this is either going to be just insane tempo inside 2 minutes, or just fuck all's going to happen because both guys, if left to their own devices, do nothing.
I'm pretty confident in Knight pushes the pace here, but I don't want to be the guy holding the doesn't go the distance ticket. You know what I mean?
I want to pat myself on the back real quick. I bet Manifield decision against Ed Herman in his last fight. So
I bet Herman round 3 plus 3,300 solid. That looked like shit, but it was value, I think.
It was a weird fight because it was just like Manifield just had leg kicks. It was just like, all right, that's nice, but like it's always hard to cap leg kick fights like that where just some guy can't check leg kicks. Like, is this relevant to the rest of the guy's career? Because like sometimes you get those fights where somebody just can't deal with leg kicks.
Yeah, he's like always overpriced because he's fucking jacked. I mean, he may be the more jacked guy in the UFC, the most. He's like a fucking animal, but he doesn't fight like he looks. He just has like 2 explosions.
He looks like me when I get off the bench press after like a nice volume chest day. We got Mallory Martin taking on Cheyenne.
I had nothing on the fight, Andrew, by the way.
I thought you said that already.
I have nothing. I think Knight is the side, but because I trust his cardio more, and I think if he gets on top, he's probably going to murder Manifield. He's vicious on top, but I don't trust him to get takedowns here. Manifield is strong and powerful, if anything, and probably a fucking mess. Maybe ends inside 2 minutes, or maybe it's the worst fight ever, but not much interest.
I'll stick with you for Cheyenne versus Mallory Martin. What do you got?
This was originally another fight, right? I like the other fight, I think.
Ruiz, the Conejo.
Yeah, she's a legend. I bet her against Cheyenne. And people were saying I was crazy, and she won with how do you call this? Head and arm throws. That was legendary. Yeah, I like fight doesn't go the distance here. I think it's a bad price. It's plus 185. Like, why? Mallory has no defense, a questionable chin, and the grappling is going to be a mess. Like, this could be the classic predatory women's MMA armbar either way. Mallory probably can get some solid top time and ground and pound too if the fight gets there. And Cheyenne buys. I don't know why people think buys is, or she's not buys anymore. Sorry, I didn't do that on purpose. Cheyenne, let's say Cheyenne. I don't know why people think she's this contender or prospect. I mean, she fucking sucks. All she does is like not karate, go forward, but you know what I mean? Just left, right, go forward. Doesn't have much power. Her wrestling and grappling is not anything special. I just think she's going to go forward, throw a lot, and force a lot of clinches because that is what she does all the time. And this is going to be an absolute mess. I think someone gets finished because the pace is going to be stupid.
Yeah,
Gugabe, what do you think?
Yeah, I haven't played it yet, but I do kind of lean in the same direction. Martin almost got knocked out by Hannah Siffers. That's never a good look. Buys seems shit off her back. I mean, both just kind of seem noodly, and Buys should be able to land a lot of just free volume on her pretty much. So like, I don't know, like I could see pretty much any finish here happening. So like, I could happily roll the dice. Yeah, obviously the issue is in that case, it's like, you are kind of leaning on a women's MMA KO. It's just like, do you really want to do that in straw weight? But like, I don't know, like Martin did get jacked up by Severs, and that's not a good look. Like, yeah, she was almost that could have been waived.
Yeah, I like the under here as well, but I also played Mallory's money line. I know it's kind of MMA mathing it a little bit, but Mallory Martin was minus 170 against Conejo, and now it's plus 170 against the girl who lost 3 rounds in a row to Conejo. So one of those was probably a little bit off. I think that Buys or Felizmus or whatever you want to call her, Cheyenne's grappling isn't that great, and I think Martin is a decent grappler. I wouldn't say she's a great grappler. She had a couple tough matchups in terms of grappling. Like she had Jandaroba, who's pretty tough to out grapple. I think that might have even been her debut, but I think she could get top time. I think she could find a finish here. But to your guys' point, if she gets stuck on the feet, it might get ugly fast because I mean Hannah Cyphers almost put her out. I had Martin big in that fight. I had like submission, inside distance, and I almost had like
Yeah,
an
me too.
almost had like an
I almost got
aneurysm.
a stroke. And then she shoots a takedown and is instant finish. Instant pass into murder, into finish, into whatever she wants. She deserved to lose, honestly. And Cyphers is my girl.
100%.
That was sad as fuck.
In a tag team match, could Andrew Magic beat the ex-Buys couple? I think
Easily.
so.
I mean, come on. We take out Cheyenne, and then what is this dwarf going to do to the both of us? I mean, what are people thinking here?
Yeah, there's no good way to answer that question without like sounding like
yeah. I would go like a standing hammer fist to Cheyenne and then save Andrew.
Dana, you know my number. Make it happen. We've got next a fight at 170. I have pretty strong opinions on it. Jake Matthews, Gugabe's cousin, is taking on Jeremiah Wells. I'll kick us off here. I think outside of a round 1 KO, I think Jeremiah Wells is pretty screwed here. I think he has bad cardio. He exerts a lot of energy into his strikes. In his last fight, I watched back the Warley Alves fight and was like, holy shit. I thought he was gassing at the end of round 1. He looked done. And then he comes out in round 2 and kind of landed like a last hurrah type of knockout. I think if he doesn't land that knockout, Alves probably takes over and wins the fight. And we get a way wider line here for Matthews. Like Matthews, way younger, way more UFC experience. I think Wells is like 35. So at that point, it's very rare that fighters are making drastic improvements, especially in the cardio realm. So I played Matthews here. I think he should be a wider favorite. And he's cousins with our guest Gugabe. So I think that's really the selling point here. What do you think? You got your fellow countrymen?
Jake Matthews just kind of underwhelming as always. He's probably due. He's due for like this random incredible performance every 3 or 4 years. He comes out one day and just destroys Leach.
The Jinklian fight is legendary. He randomly appeared looking like a bodybuilder, and he was the best fighter in MMA for one night. That was incredible.
It was like legitimately like I had a lot of money on Leach, and that was just just the rest of his career.
A really short camp or something. It was like 4 weeks. He had fought or something, I remember, and then he appeared looking like the Hulk.
Yeah, I remember that because he had the Bojan Velikovic fight where like Bogan got robbed. I was there live for that. That was an awful decision. Like at the end of the fight, Jake Matthews' dad was just screaming at him, but he lost the fight pretty much. Like it was not a good scene. Like you could hear it in the ring because nobody was cheering because it was a fucking awful fight. But then you could just hear Jake Matthews' dad just going ballistic. Just being like, you are disowned. And then Jake Matthews won the decision and it was all okay. So that was a great moment for father-son relations. But otherwise, yeah, that like Leach fight, like because he put on like 10 kilos of muscle in 3 weeks. I to this day, that is just like a crazy outlier. And like, if you look through Jake Matthews' career, like he only has 1 win against somebody who's currently in the UFC, which is Leach, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Sanchez still on the roster?
Sanchez is about to die. Have you seen his Twitter?
So
he's like laying in a bed, like, "Oh, COVID got me. I'm fucking dying."
Yeah, all right. So Matthews is weird. Matthews has this very weird career where he just kind of sits in Australia and just fights random journeymen. Like that. I don't understand why the UFC is so generous to Jake Matthews. They just seem to protect him.
He must have a great manager or something. I was thinking that the other day. I was looking at his record. I was like, how has he gotten away with fighting like this strength of schedule for this long?
Yeah, he fought Sanchez and that guy, the werewolf guy. That was
weird because it's like
I can't think of his name.
He either gets like top 10 guys or he gets like absolute shit. He never gets anybody like decent. It's just like you either get somebody who should not be in the UFC, or he just gets like, or every so often like, oh, he won 3 fights in a row against trash. Here, have an upcoming like super prospect or something, and then he gets his ass kicked. It's like, well, you can't really tell because he doesn't fight anybody decent. I suppose like Tony Martin, after Rocco Martin wasn't that, but like most of his fights are. Yeah, I just can't really. How do you trust Jake Matthews? He does jack shit.
You can't. You have to be brave or not play it.
And like you had the Sanchez fight where he all like steams Matthews RTD and Matthews does nothing. Like he then knocks him down and he just like, gives him 30 seconds to recover. And it's just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Like banned for what? What is he saying? Everybody acts like I'm the worst person on Twitter. Come on, I'm a cool guy.
Also, I've actually rolled with Matthews a few times. Good guy. Fucking freak athlete. Like I'm probably about 280 pounds, and like he can keep up in power. He just gasses very quickly. But good guy. Magic?
Yeah, I mean, the guy is not really into it, right? I have heard the stories about his father, like pushing him into fighting some strange things.
Yeah.
I had the price of the decade on Matthews inside the distance against Sanchez. I was thinking like this is
Same.
legalized bank robbery, and the guy goes out and does that shit. I mean, come on. So
He finally knocks him down in round 3 and he just lets him off the hook for no reason. He's just like,
I mean,
he has him dead.
It's Sanchez. He's 80 years old, cannot take a punch, and he's like half the size of Matthews. He should have been cut for that. Probably in prison. One of these camps that we rescued you yesterday. One of these camps for Jake Matthews would be good.
Dude, that tweet was unreal.
But yeah, I played Matthews by submission. I wasn't going to play this fight, but if Jeremiah Wells, which I mean, his debut performance was fucking impressive. I don't know how that happened because I did the tape and that was a different guy. And he comes out and fucking kills Warley Alves, who really nobody does or has done it. That was impressive, but I think if this goes past one round, Matthews on the ground does whatever he wants. And I was expecting a shit price, but submission is plus 700. So yeah, why not? And now Matthews is going to counterpunch a low volume fight for 15 minutes while I die watching.
Yeah. I was a little bit tempted ends inside distance, like evens, but I'm just kind of like Matthews is very reliable to just do nothing. So
yeah. But this Jeremiah Wells is aggressive though. He's like fights are stupid. There is some regional fights that are bar brawls. He's out there with his chin up throwing.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if Matthews just counters him with the right and fucking demolishes the guy or something.
Yeah, same.
He'll drop him hard and just do nothing. We'll just like watch him. He'll just like sort of take a few steps back and just be like, yeah, you're fine. Yeah, get back into it.
It's great. We've got a flyweight fight. This one I actually am looking forward to, although I don't have a bet on it. Manel Kape versus Zhalgas Zhumagulov. Magic, you want to start here?
Yeah, I tweeted about this. I wouldn't play Kape or whatever his name is minus 250 against anyone. Like the guy doesn't do anything. I bet Osborne against him, and I think that was the right side, honestly. I know he got killed, but he was losing and looking bad and randomly killed the guy. Didn't even kill him because the referee did him a favor there. Like Osborne was working hard and had wrist control and everything. I thought that was a bad stoppage. But whatever. Yeah, Kape is a guy that, I mean, you just cannot cap the guy. You know what I mean? His life to be cut 3 losses in a row and out next year or make a championship run. He's just a wild card. I mean, I don't mind. I have nothing, but if you want to play moneyline, Zhumagulov is probably the side, just on volume, and he's a durable guy. And he's probably the better grappler if it gets to that, which I don't think it will. But yeah, Zhumagulov by inside the distance is a pretty stupid price, I think. I'm not playing anything, but all Zhumagulov props are a bit tough, I think. But yeah, whatever. Probably Kape does nothing and then kills him with 1 minute remaining in the fight. A tornado kick. I think it's going to be a tornado kick.
Yeah, all right.
You agree with that, Gugabe?
Yeah, pretty much. Kape will give up like 8 very close, ugly minutes, be like a plus 200 underdog live, and then just like land some crazy shit out of nowhere. Yeah, like it's Kape's hard because like you watch his tape and like his good tape is incredible. Like, you know, he could legit like, you know, even in his UFC run, like if you just take his like best 10 minutes, like his best 10 minutes could be champion. And his worst 10 minutes are him literally doing nothing. So it's just like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, he's got a little bit better wrestling wise. There is some good tape, but there is some horrible one. I mean, this one, what was his name? This guy that lost by submission to Pantoja? The Japanese guy?
Oh, Sasaki?
Yeah, Sasaki, Ulka Sasaki. Yeah, that guy wrestling Kape, wrestling the life out of Kape with wrestling shoes in Japan. Hilarious shit. Recommended on YouTube. But yeah.
Yeah, but like against Pantoja, is his grappling actually simply like again? I played Pantoja and I played whatever the other guy was in the what's his name? Brazilian guy. Yeah,
the guy that just fought Elliot. Yeah.
So like, I played Pantoja against Kape, and like I was surprised, like pleasant. I was like, Kape impressed me against Pantoja when he decided to do things, but then there was like the 8
I was surprised
not to do things.
Because Pantoja couldn't really grapple him, and I was like, fuck, this is going to be sweaty.
It was, and like, yeah, that's the whole thing of Kape.
I think he
like,
won.
if he was,
I think Pantoja was up clearly 2018 after 2 rounds, and commentary team with Cormier, who is the most biased commentator ever, was acting like Kape was putting on a clinic or something. Yeah, it got sweaty.
yeah, even like Nicolau kind of robbed him. Like I had Nicolau there, and Nicolau probably won more minutes, but like I think
Yeah,
Kape probably deserved that
people were
decision.
acting like Kape was robbed there. I mean, what are they talking about?
I thought Kape won. It wasn't a robbery, but I definitely scored it for him.
Yeah, you thought Covington won.
He did. He did.
Did you see what he said to Usman, your hero? How
Yeah,
fake
he said he said sign up. He said, Marty, come here, sign up with mybookie.ag, use the promo code
Man,
Colby.
the UFC did him dirty there. You cannot put out that footage because it
Yeah.
destroys his entire persona.
Mhm.
You cannot do that. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Let's pretend that fight never happened. Maki Potolo versus Dusko Todorovic. Or sorry, I didn't even talk about Kape versus Zhumagulov. I agree with what pretty much everything you guys said. It's hard to trust Kape at that price. I'm picking him to win. I think the speed advantage is probably going to make the difference here, and his grappling does look pretty improved. Both these guys are technically on paper 1 and 2 in the UFC, but I actually feel like both of them are not that bad. I think they're better than the record shows. So we'll see what happens. Crazy. One of them, loser, probably gets cut, unfortunately. But I don't want to spend too much longer on that. Potolo versus
Zhumagulov has 3 wives.
Really?
Yeah.
No
I
way.
found about this just recently. It's very funny because he's ugly as fuck too. 3
Are
wives.
They good looking?
Absolute chat.
Yeah. Are they good looking?
Man, I don't know. I think he's a Muslim. He's not showing his 3 wives on Instagram or anything.
Oh, okay.
He's like not from Dagestan, but he's from Kazakhstan or something, right? Or Turkmenistan.
Yeah.
Some of these invented countries. Yeah, the tundra, not the tundra, but the steppe.
Close enough. Potolo versus Todorovic. I played Potolo plus 154. I think Dusko's striking defense is terrible. Potolo might try to mix in wrestling. I think Dusko's a decent grappler. I see this primarily playing out on the feet, but I think a lot's being made of Potolo's like gas tank, so to speak. Not saying he's a cardio god like Covington or anything, but I think he also just fights at like a frantic pace. Yeah, so I like Potolo as a dog here. I'm curious to hear if you guys agree with me. Gugabe, what you got?
I think both these guys are kind of like, they've both kind of gotten lucky in their UFC career so far. Go the distance here looks solid too. Like, I just kind of think that, yeah, probably like Dusko seems stupidly durable. Potolo seems pretty durable if he's not getting submitted in round 3. So, like, yeah, go distance probably my number 1 pick. But, like, honestly, it kind of annoys me if this fight's been made because it's like they're both probably, loser gets cut, but I think they're both probably good guys you can fade shit middleweights with. Like, they're both, like, reasonably processed. Like, Dusko's good physicality. Potolo could be like a top 10 middleweight if he just stopped fucking collapsing. Like, again, like, it's kind of annoying because, like, loser leaves town, but they're both guys I would like to fade like shit fights with. Again, my concern here is I feel like Dusko just kind of pulls away on physicality. I think the line's about right. Like, I played Potolo over the last like 3 or 4 fights. I think he's generally a very good bet, but like here I'm just kind of hesitant. Go distance probably the best spot though.
Yeah, I don't agree. That comment. Yeah, I think Todorovic is the better grappler in the fight. I don't know the takes around on Twitter acting like Potolo is going to Gordon Ryan this guy. I mean, what fight are they watching here? I agree with
Gugabe. Yes, but
I don't think that much grappling will take place. If anything, it'll just be like a clinch grind. Like, I think
it's going to be the Potolo special, the exhausted grappling. I'm going to shoot a takedown because I'm fucking dying in round 3 and get guillotined or something. It's the Potolo special. Yeah. I mean, this guy. I don't dislike all Australians, okay? I like Gugabe and I like the legend Callum Potter, who beat the shit out of this guy, Callum Potter. Callum Potter versus Bodley needs to happen. The UFC lost a big opportunity here. I mean, I'm serious. Callum Potter beats Bodley right now. 170, Callum Potter beats the shit out of Tyron Woodley. Against the fence looking like prime GSP. Oh, it could happen. It could actually happen. But yeah, I played Todorovic. I think submission is probably the sleeper prop of the card. It's a stupid price. It's plus 1,000. Potolo collapses, I mean. And Todorovic, he didn't look like very interested in submitting this other guy, the cokehead. I forgot his name. This guy that was massive, the black guy. that he was just pounding. The rear naked choke was the most open rear naked choke ever, and he just pounded the guy out. I forgot his name. I'll check it. It was this guy that was really, really bad. That lost to
Teddy Ash.
too. Who?
Teddy Ash was a Tuesday night contender fight for Todorovic. Oh, the guy lost to Devin Clark. What's his name?
Yeah, and to Dalchalugiambula too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Todorovic by submission a bit, and I played Todorovic late small. I mean, I pretty much agree with Gugabe, but I like a late finish. Yeah, Dequan Townsend, that guy was horrible.
I think it probably looks it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, Potolo is not bad, but he's just lacking something. I don't know what is it. Maybe mentally, or I don't know. He's not a bad fighter. He's strong and he has some hands, some power. His grappling is not horrible. He can win fights in the UFC, but he's not made. Yeah, he's not going to break the top 5 or anything. He has the best nickname in the UFC. I hope he does break the top 5, but he's not going to do it.
The Z on the end of the coconut bombs just makes it so much better. Like, imagine if it was like normal bombs, it would just not be great, but just
coconut bombs is a great nickname. Yeah, it's top 3 in the UFC for sure.
Yeah, that's a good one. Darian Weeks, super short notice versus Brian Barberena. I could kick us off here, but first, we got 72 live viewers right now, which is awesome. Thank you guys for joining us. Thanks, Gugabe, for being a great guest. Looking forward to breaking down the rest of these fights. I like Barberena here at close to pick. I'm not really sure what exactly Darian Weeks is good at. I mean, super short notice. His last opponent had a losing record. Barberena just fought Witt and fought Ivy, who I think are both better grapplers than Weeks. I think Weeks probably needs to knock him out. So unless Barberena is completely shot, which he might be, I honestly think there's a scenario where Barberena is completely shot and still wins this fight. I mean, super short notice, big step up in competition. I played Barberena minus 115. Was kind of surprised to see it get close to evens. Gugabe, do you agree?
Yeah, like again, it's kind of surprises me that Weeks is getting love in the market. Like Barberena's like quasi shot enough, you can't really trust him anymore. So I'm probably just gonna stay out. But yeah, it's kind of like, you know, Weeks is just a massive step up. Like he hasn't even like fought like second tier or third tier regional competition. So it's just like, I don't know. Yeah, Barberena's probably the side just because logically, like just a massive difference competition. But also it's just like how how much can you trust Barberena, particularly after that Witt fight where it looked kind of just garbage. But like Witt can play top position. Yeah, Barberena's striking not too bad, and just I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of stay out. But I do agree with you, like conceptually, like it's always weird when you see like this like long-term UFC vet with actual wins, like at this sort of price against just random. Like Weeks doesn't even seem like that good a prospect to me.
He's just competent.
Yeah,
he's fine. I took a bit of Weeks. Inside the distance and late to knockout. I mean, Barberena, whatever his name is, looks completely shot. And he also gets to like 400 pounds between camps. He looks like shit. Yeah, last fight was rough, man. He was making Jason Witt look like Gregor Gillespie. He got dropped by the Vanilla Gorilla. That was bad. Like
can happen to anyone. He's a fucking killer.
The Vicente Luque fight, yeah, great fight and whatever, but took something out of him. That was brutal. So, breaking Geoff Neal jail, man. We already talked about
it. I just read that a little while ago.
Yeah, so I took him by knockout and late small. I mean, I watch all his fights are around. I watched them yesterday. The first couple fights were not very like. I was like, okay, this guy is a tomato can, but the last 3 are not bad. He's like competent everywhere, very strong, has some grappling upside, wrestling base, and he looks to have some power. His striking is just meh, but I mean, being meh everywhere is probably enough to beat Barberena at this point. I think his shot cannot take a shot anymore. Gasses, Barberena didn't used to gas, and now he gasses too. So yeah, maybe Barberena comes out and hits him with the left hand and fucking murders the guy or something, and I look stupid, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's going to be a good old dogfight, and Weeks is going to pull out late. Like, pull, how do you say it? Pull away. Yeah, pull away late. Lacking my English there.
It's all right. Who could kill Perry before never? Yeah, no, that is true. That was probably It definitely took something out of Barberena. Perry's the GOAT though. He just won a fucking triangle boxing match.
Luca
How
is a
many?
scary guy. Luca is
How
one of
many of
these
you want a
guys.
triangle boxing match? Brendan Allen versus Chris Curtis. Magic. I'll stick with you here.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time thinking about this fight. Like, I'm going to do it, I'm not going to do it. And then again, I'm going to do it, I'm not going to do it. I really wanted to play Curtis by knockout and late because, I mean, Allen is a punching bag. His striking defense is horrible and Curtis is durable. The guy is durable. He cashed against this massive fraud last time. Great guy. Good boy. But
Back 1
here...
second.
Oh, he said 1 second, right? I missed that. Yeah, here, I mean, the size disparity is huge, and Allen can probably get takedowns, and on top, he's much better. I mean, on the mat, he's the much better grappler, and he's aggressive, ground and pound. He looks for submissions. I don't know if Curtis is going to survive early, but if he does, he's life late. He's more than life. But yeah, I passed. I have nothing on the fight. I'm going to kill myself if Curtis weathers the storm and comes late, fucking kills him or something. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I think Curtis is screwed here. I think Brendan Allen is gonna beat him up bad.
Too big. He's just too big.
Yeah, they're different weight classes. I didn't think no disrespect. I didn't think Chris Curtis looked that good against I watched him fight regional guys and ex-MMA, and it was a 29-28 decision.
I mean, he's not great, but he's always, you can trust the guy. You know what I mean? He's durable and he has good boxing and some power, and he comes forward late. He has a lot of late finishes, round 2, round 3. He's a good soldier.
I also think that what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. Oh, I think Brendan Allen's probably gotten better over the last couple of years. I used to rate him super low. In the past couple, I bet Strickland big against him. I even bet on Kevin Holland against him back in the day.
Yeah, I bet against him in, I think, all his fights. Daukaus, yeah, all of them. Daukaus fight, I mean, he won the fight on a fucking knee. Daukaus is the better fighter. And yeah, Holland did a Holland thing. He was looking good, almost chokes the guy out and then quits for no reason. I don't think he's good, but his performance against Soriano was good. His striking has improved quite a lot, but definitely. I still think his defense sucks.
Gugabe, what do you think?
Yeah, that guy's right. Gugabe 100% in jail now. The military got him.
Yeah, well, it happens. Yeah, I think the number on Curtis is a little bit big, but also I think Allen's busy enough. I'm just kind of I can't really see Curtis winning rounds. Allen's super hittable, so he could always die at any point. But I don't know. Curtis KO might be a bit big, but also I kind of feel like people probably overrated the Hawes performance a little bit. Curtis was never much of a knockout guy, and after Hawes was kind of just dialing him up, just kind of do you really want to bet that after the Soriano fight for Allen? Not Allen's submission kind of tempts me, because I just kind of think Allen's grappling is kind of overrated, and Curtis seems functional enough to not get tapped. Again, line's probably a bit blind. I'd move around the prices a little bit, but also I kind of don't want to wade into it. I'm just kind of hoping Allen just wins by something impressive so I can fade the fuck out of him next time.
Yeah, I want him to win round 1, demolish the guy, and then get Paulo Costa or something.
Yeah, get me a round 1 Allen head kick knockout or something like that, where it's people just overreact. Allen's now a fucking elite striker, that kind of shit.
Someone that can defend the takedown, and this guy is going to die. Soriano didn't really, I mean, he couldn't do it because his cardio sucks. He really couldn't push the pace. He was just focused on defending the shot. But there are a lot of guys that are going to assassinate Allen in that division, I think. He's always talking about the Strickland rematch and that it was a fluke and everything. I don't know, man. I think Strickland murders him again, faster.
Super easily. I was huge on Strickland at the time.
Sam.
Yeah, he's the future champion.
Yeah, dude, I would be so happy, bro. That'd be hilarious.
I'm serious. He's going to beat the shit out of everyone. In a fight with no time limit, he's the champion open weight. He beats Ngannou, no problem.
Jimmy Crute versus Jamal Hill. Gugabe, what do you got?
Jim Crute just took me to prison, so he's looking great. It's kind of weird. Crute's been better than I expected him to be. Like I always thought, like it's just slowness would give him issues. I think this is going to be like a really binary, two true outcome kind of fight. Like it's either Hill just landing endless strikes on Crute, or it's going to be Crute just subbing him instantly. I don't like again. I'd probably look for a live bet on Hill after about a round. That's probably my preferred entry. Like I just kind of think that Crute's gassy and slow, but like the grappling, like it's hard to get too good a feel for Crute, really, honestly, because most of his UFC fights have been so quick, and like his wins have kind of aged poorly to a large degree. But yeah,
Cool. Magic, what are you thinking?
I think the line is bad. Like, why it's not Crute minus 300, minus 400? The grappling edge is massive, and he's a guy that is going to go for it. I mean, if he cannot get takedowns, he's probably going to lose the stand-up, but he's powerful himself. Right? It's anybody's fight on the feet, really, and the grappling upside is massive, like massive. It could be just a mauling, like Oleg Siechuk or whatever his name was. The guy, I mean, he was fighting Donatello, the fifth Ninja Turtle, and breaks his fucking leg or whatever it was, and was still out wrestling the guy, and now people act like he got, I don't know, knocked the fuck out or something. If he had won that fight, he would be minus 500 here. I like Crute. I was going to take some Crute by submission, but the books are stupid. It was plus 300 and 5 tenths by submission plus 320, so thank you. They have a chimpanzee making the lines. 5 tenths by submission. And Crute money line I have in a little parlay. Yeah. I'm not going to be too mad if somehow Yamaha Hill hits a Gogo Plata or something.
Yeah, I see this comment. Will Crute proactively grapple for once in his life? Crute proactively grappled against
always.
Yeah, he always does that. That's maybe
against Michal, that was rape. He should be in prison.
I don't know why. Like, yeah, I agree with what you said. I don't know why he can't do to Jamal Hill exactly what he did to Lord Mikal. I think Crute should be a wider favorite here. Even on the feet, like Hill has a good volume and stuff, but I don't think he's a crazy big hitter. And also his striking defense, I think, is very suspect. So I slightly favor Hill on the feet, but like it wouldn't shock me if Crute just caught him with a bomb and finished him either.
Yeah.
But
Crute's power is like a huge equalizer against anyone. He throws heat to both hands, and I mean, I was confident that Klitson Abreu was going to out-grapple the shit out of Hill, and he got hit in the liver, and people were acting like Hill was the bet of the century. I mean, okay, it wasn't, but whatever.
The people's main event, Clay the Carpenter Guida versus Leonardo Santos. Magic will stay with you with this one.
Yeah, the combined age of this fight is like 200 years, right? How old is Guida? Santos is like 42 or something like that. And Guida must be like, I don't know, 77?
I think.
Yeah, I was liking Santos pre-tape, and I like him here. I mean, we all know Guida and what he does. If he doesn't die or whatever, he's probably taking the fight based on volume. He probably can get takedowns. Not get takedowns, but push him, do a grand thousand. You know what I mean? Like push against the fence, try to tire the guy, but quality-wise, like technique-wise, power, and especially jiu-jitsu, Santos is million light years ahead of him, I think.
Is that true? I didn't hear that.
Oh, fuck off. I bet him. Now he's going to push even more for the first round. Yeah. I mean, Santos by submission is a stupid price. I got plus 600. I thought that was going to be a very short line. Guida gets submitted, doesn't get knocked out. I think he's going to do what he always does, and Santos finds a guillotine or a reactive shot into whatever he wants, or maybe just clips the guy and submits him. I'm pretty big on Santos. I have inside the distance and submission. I hope he just doesn't randomly look 42. You know what I mean? I had him against Dawson too. Massive fraud, Dawson. His day is coming. I hope he fights Hernandez. Hernandez assassinates Dawson.
Dude, Diego Ferreira was going to be an underdog against Grant Dawson. I was pulling my hair out in that fight.
I was going to bet everything I have. Like my car, everything. Ferreira, like, does whatever he wants to Dawson. And the first scramble gets his back and the fight is over.
Gugabe, what do you got on this one? You riding the Carpenter?
I would be, but that Madsen fight just kind of annoyed me. Like Guida just didn't really. I expect Guida to just take over a lot harder there, and he just didn't seem to have it in him. Like,
Yeah,
if this was Guida off the Johnson fight, I'd be like all over. I'd be playing Guida pretty hard. But like off that Madsen fight, I'm just not sure Guida's still got the same pace in him. Like he just looked kind of big gun shy there. And yeah, I'm sure all those elite people betting Madsen minus 200 wanted the jab based striking split decision. That was what they were capping. Like, never any doubt. But like, it's just kind of ugly. I definitely would rather hold Santos round 1 or Santos RTD than I would his money line, because I do think if this goes the distance, it's going to be a fucking shambles. It's hard to say. Like, I think, Guida live bet after round's probably the spot, but I could see this being a thing where Santos is just fucking on him. And then like 1 minute, it just flips from like 100-0 Santos to 100-0 Guida. Like I could just say this, but straight down. But I can't see much about it. Even like inside of distance tempted me a little bit, like just based on the fact of the cardio dynamic. But after that Madsen fight,
pretty good.
After that Madsen fight, I'm just not sure I trust Guida to push the pace enough.
Yeah, everyone had Guida in that fight, and everyone was so excited. He's one of these guys that people love betting on him, like Bobby Green.
Yeah, great knockout last time.
I bet him against
Fuck Jaquinta. I bet the decision, and he quit. You see this interview the other day? He said he quit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like honestly, like
pussy.
that over was the biggest. I bet I was quite big on the under there, and I looked through the odds history. That was like the biggest men's over in like the last like 5 years. Like even like flyweight fights, like just like you don't see men's over 2.5 minus 400 that often. Like it's legitimately rare, and they just like they're both durable, but like they get a fucking swing.
Yeah, but I mean even with the layoff and everything, it's fucking Jaquinta. You can hit the guy with a baseball bat and nothing happened, and he randomly dies. I mean,
but like Cerrone almost killed him. Hooker almost killed him.
Yeah, but he doesn't die. You know what I mean? He's laying there below Khabib Nurmagomedov, and he's pounding on him, and the guy is like, but it goes 5. He was immortal, and now fucking quits. Fuck him. That's because he's training with Sterling, probably. The quid gets shared.
Towards back of the headshot, there's like fucking a DQ.
Yeah, he was trying that. I think he was offering him the back of the head. I was happy for Bobby. Sorry, Andrew. Go on.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say that I like. I think Guida's the side here. I haven't played it yet. I don't know if I'm going to, but like Santos is 100 years old. His cardio sucks. And I think Guida. Yeah. We've got this young prospect on the uprise, Clay Guida. No, but in all seriousness, like I think Guida didn't try to wrestle with Madsen because he knew like his wrestling background was pretty legit and he was going to be hard to take down. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes down Santos here. I mean, Santos has been taken down a couple times. But it has been against powerful people. I mean, and Dawson has to work a lot for it. Like Guida is not that type of grappler. I don't know. Maybe when he's tired, but I'm sure. Yeah, I don't know. I think at least like it could be where Dawson was like pushing him up against the fence, starting to drain him a little bit. Someone just said Santos is a liability in round 3. I kind of agree with that. I feel like Guida probably wins round 3 at a very high clip. I think Santos early will do well, and it just kind of might come down to that round 2. I don't really see like they could finish, I guess. I don't know. I kind of see this one going to the cards. I think if anyone is going to finish, it's going to be Santos early, or if he just has a cardio dump and kind of quits or like covers
Guida
up.
needs to look out for the knee because Santos loves that intercepting knee when people are coming in, and he goes with his head like this. Yes, he's looking to the floor. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets like deaded early, like face first.
Nah, I don't know that I fight goes distance at mine.
No, I don't think it's going to go 3. Like, I wouldn't really be shocked if Guida survives and round 3 is putting it on him.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know.
Yeah, we just
co-main event. We've got Rafael Fiziev versus Brad Riddell. I'll start off here. I played Fiziev minus 109. I think people are very much they're making too much out of a little bit in his last fight of losing round 3 to Bobby Green. I think that's probably like a huge reason why people are betting Riddell here, at least just from what I've seen, the takes on Twitter. I think the narrative's a little overrated. Like Fiziev, I think is going to win the striking by a lot. Like Riddell's a good striker too, but there's levels to this. I think Riddell's going to, I think you tweeted this the other day actually, but he's going to be looking like Jordan Burroughs after a round or something like that.
3 minutes or so. He's going to be shooting for legs.
And like Riddell was just an underdog to Drew Dober in what was going to be a striking fight. So it's kind of the same price here against Fiziev, who I think is a really good striker. Like I played Bobby Green plus 300 against Fiziev, and like I don't even know that there, like I don't really necessarily think there was like a ton of value on that or anything. I think Fiziev wins that fight at a high clip.
I think it's Fiziev, not Fiziev.
Is it? I don't know.
Fiziev or something like that.
See, this is why I'm a better friend than you. You were messing up someone's name before, and I just let it slide. And I mess up someone's name. Someone said Riddell's.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, that's my thoughts. I think Fiziev is going to win this fight. Do you agree with that, Magic?
Yeah, I think he's going to win. Some guy that said Riddell is the far better boxer. I don't know what you are smoking. Like in a boxing match with no kicks, Fiziev will kill him. Like kill him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, B-Rad's about to annihilate him. You guys are fucking stupid. Like the output, massive differences. Inside distance is kind of fun. I don't like the training history though.
Yeah,
inside distance.
I have inside the distance. I think ends by knockout. I have seen plus 175, plus 188. Yeah. It's a pretty good bet. Like, why is this favor to go to three rounds?
Yeah, it's because
it's not like any of them has a great chin. Fiziev doesn't look very durable. Like his chin doesn't look the best, and Riddell, I think it's a little bit chinny. So I don't know.
Yeah, Riddell's weird because like he probably should have had like 2 or 3 finishes in his UFC run so far. Like the Malarkey fight was absolute carnage. The Dober fight was like
that was one of my favorite fights of the year. The final moments when he was on his knees and he you were sitting behind his family. I remember you tell me. That must have been like horror scenes.
Oh, they lost their shit when he almost got finished him, and like around 3 weeks, like he dropped or he wobbled Riddell.
Yeah, he dropped him.
They lost their shit.
Almost dropped him.
I was rewatching it. Honestly, if he kept punching, he probably gets a finish there. Like he tried going for went for the back take, gave him like 30 seconds to get his shit back together. I felt like
I mean, it should have been stopped like 3 times. The referee was a serial killer or something.
That guy is.
I like Fiziev here. I think people are saying Riddell is the much better striker. I don't agree. I think Fiziev is a better kicker and a better boxer and a better everything on the feet. He's more powerful, faster, and at distance, Riddell can compete and do well and even hurt him. But when they get close in the pocket, I think Fiziev is going to make a huge difference. He's short and he's very, very dangerous in the pocket. Throws hit, very good combinations. Riddell is more of a basic kickboxer guy. Keep your distance, control with the left hand. I think Fiziev wins the striking pretty handily, and I think Riddell has more grappling. Riddell has more grappling upside, but yeah, I like Fiziev by knockout plus 400, and fight doesn't go the distance. I think those are the sides.
Yeah, definitely the under. I just kind of think my issue with Fiziev is just that he never really puts like a massive volume gap on anybody. Like every UFC fight he's had has just been like pretty even. Like
but at the same time, he's fucking impressive, man. He's an elite striker. I don't know why people don't rate him. He's truly elite striker.
I mean, the Green fight was close. The Akazi pulled back round 3. Like he lost round 3.
It wasn't close. Like he won. It was competitive, very competitive. But the scorecards, he won clearly. People were saying, I tweeted this the other day. I don't think round 3 for Fiziev is that bad. He got outlanded 2-1, but it was all jabs and shit like that, and he was landing bombs. There was a moment in round 3 where he was power kicking Green 4 times in a row. Like, what the fuck are people seeing here? I remember some people saying round 3 was 10-8 for Bobby Green. Get the fuck out of here. What are you saying? He's very good and very dangerous. I think Riddell is fucked on the feet.
Into KO should be good. Again, I'm just hoping it's just carnage. My concern is they've trained together a bunch, and sometimes that means they just kind of just take it easy.
Yeah, you know this is going to be the classic 4 knockdowns combined. Everybody gets hurt and loses 2 liters of blood, and it goes to the cars, right?
Yeah, it will it'll be 300 significant strikes kind of thing. It'll just be great. It'll just be carnage, and then they'll just be fine. It's gonna be very annoying. Or it's just gonna be come out flat because they train together. Just kind of do a bunch of fist bumps and just kind of, yeah.
Main event time. Again, right before we jump into this, thanks to everyone for joining us. We got 70 live viewers right now. Gugabe, thanks for coming on. I'm going to have you start us off with the main event. We've got Jose Aldo taking on Rob Font, 5 rounds. Who you picking?
Probably Font live better after a round or two. I think the cardio just eventually fucks Aldo. But like that Moonhouse fight was the best Aldo's looked like ever. So yeah, just kind of like I think Font should keep busy. Main concern is if Font gets scared off, but otherwise it's kind of like I just think they're around 4 or 5. Just eventually, just open the chasm opens up. Aldo just melts, but like should be competitive early. I like the under a bit too because I think they should be pretty consistent to go to war.
Main events all go the distance now.
Only a small sample size. I think we'll,
No, I know. I'm kidding. I've gotten burned.
Stock trader Gugabe. That small sample size, man. We need 1,000 to consider this here.
What do you got?
I like Font. Font is my guy. I mean, I think he's the real dark horse of the division. I think it's the most difficult fight for Jan, but at the same time, I think Jan could out-grapple him comfortably. I don't know, but Font is fucking legit. And 5 rounds, I mean, this is one of these fights that 3 rounds will be very different to 5 rounds in every sense. I think Aldo needs a finish inside 2 or so to win this fight. I don't really get the line. I think Font could look like a huge favorite down the stretch, and I think people betting Aldo are banking on him landing that shot or hurting Font, and Font has a good chin. He's not going to get out-grappled here because Aldo is not a proactive grappler, and Font works to get up. He's a good grappler himself. And Aldo cannot really grapple here because if he doesn't finish, he's getting gassed like real bad if he grapples. So yeah, I like Font. I think people are expecting this to be like a shootout early, and it's not going to be. Font is a really intelligent guy with a great long jab. He has the best jab in the UFC probably. That is a great jab, and he knows how to use it.
Yeah, him and Colby.
No.
Yeah. Are you finished?
I mean, I think Font is going to do what he needs to do, control with the jab, not get into exchanges early and punish him, set up his right. I mean, he has good footwork. Aldo is not really a mover. Garbrandt was surviving because he was moving a lot. Aldo is in front of you. He's a Muay Thai striker.
Yep.
And you cannot do that against Font. He's going to jab your face off. I think Font takes over and finds a finish late. I like Font late a lot here, but I wouldn't be surprised if Font just hits a 1-2 and fucking folds Aldo.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you said. I think Font's the side here. It could be competitive early for a couple rounds.
It will be.
I just think that Aldo standing in front of Font won't fare well. Like to your point about movement, I think he's just going to be there to be jabbed. And I mean, how many fights in a row are we going to talk about Jose Aldo's leg kicks? Like he just doesn't use it anymore.
He needs it. If he doesn't leg kick proactively here a lot, he cannot stand in front of Font, I think. No. And Aldo is a great counter puncher, but Font is not going to give him those opportunities. He's going to be jabbing from the other side of the octagon, and he always gets the good angle with his jab. He's not there to be countered. He's a really good boxer for MMA.
100%. I bet him as an underdog in his last couple fights, so I was kind of bummed to see him the favorite here. But I still think there's a little bit of value on this line. I'd probably have it closer to minus 200. But yeah, I like Font. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Go follow Gugabe on Twitter. It's at Gugabe D. Is that right?
Yeah.
What is the D stand for? I thought you're. Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't your first name's Liam, right?
Yeah, some random Portuguese person has like normal at Gugabe. So like, I've been finding a Twitter support for years to get that. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we appreciate you joining us. We'll be back next week for UFC 269.
Are we not talking some Bellator or something? There is the guy. No Bellator.
Okay. If you want,
there is a lot of boxing this weekend.
We've been doing this for over an hour. If you want our Bellator, message us on Twitter.
No crazy parlay, no anything. Andrew he's busy.
I'm out. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Yes.
Bye.